What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. Let's get into it. Kelis is back, and she is going off about them taking her song, Pharrell and Beyonce, and she's not happy about it. We're going to get into this, and we're going to go all the way behind and let you know what's been going on, because we've already told you in the past about this beef. Now, Kelis, as you can see, is angry with Beyonce and Pharrell. Now, we'll go back through the history of this. Beyonce used her music and her song on her Renaissance album without Kelis's permission, without her even knowing about it, because Pharrell owns the music. They didn't have to talk to Kelis. It's just a respect factor. And what she's pissed about is that he's got credit for being a writer on the songs when he didn't write a goddamn thing, and he speaks out about the actual rights of the artists and fighting for them renegotiating and restructuring the deals. He screwed Kelis out of millions. That's what he did. He finessed her out of millions. And we're going to go into why. When Kelis was overseas making her albums, she was the #1 Neptune fan. She was dating Pharrell. Pharrell was her man at the time. That was her boo. He was with her career, everything, her style, her look. He was on her arm. She was on his arm everywhere they went. She was his girl. That was his woman. Everything was pew, 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 pew. Pharrell, Chad, Hugo, Neptunes. So they were working on her album, producing it, everything. So she was getting, dating him and getting filled out like an application. Then as he started to grow in fame, he wanted other women. So he moved on. They broke up, and everything changed. She started dating Nas. He didn't care less. And the reason why he cared less is because he was still getting the money, getting credit for being the writers and producing her songs when he wasn't even writing them no more. So he stole a lot of money from Kelis. And then Nas had her. So it wasn't just being a bitter ex-boyfriend. He just knows he has a good situation here. He can take her music, use it for commercials and whatever, and he gets paid. Him and Chad, they both get paid off Kelis. And it was her creativity, her everything, her energy, everything to these records, and she's not getting a dime out of it. And now they just did this project with Beyonce. This is not the first time for Kelis and Beyonce. That's what you guys really don't know. But let's listen to what Kelis had to actually say herself.
These retarded comments, so let me just respond. There were some good ones too, but we'll get to those after. So here's the first thing. My hair is cute. Here's the first issue, okay? Number one, it's not even like I'm a human being, so I get pissed off and I get ticked off, right? I'm an artist, so I am, as Erica said, I'm sensitive about my shit. The reality is, okay, is that my real beef is not only with Beyonce, because at the end of the day, she sampled a record, she's copied me before, she's done it before, so have many other artists. It's fine, I don't care about that. The issue is that not only are we female artists, okay, black female artists in an industry that there's not that many of us, right? We've met each other, we know each other, we have mutual friends, it's not hard, she can contact, right? Ash Nico, who's 20, she's a young white girl, she reached out when she freaking, it's just common decency, right? It's common decency, especially because, as so many of you pointed out, as though I don't know, but let me help you, okay? I know what I own and what I don't own. I also know the lies that were told. I also know the things that were stolen, publishing was stolen, people were swindled out of rights. It happens all the time, especially back then. So it's not about me being mad about Beyonce. Everyone's like, you're all sheep. And I'm talking to the people who are obsessed and blind, just like, oh, like it's so dumb. It's so ignorant. It's so ignorant. She's one issue because it was stupid and disrespectful and she should have at least reached out. But the real issue is the fact that the people like Pharrell and like Chad really is like an amoeba and just, he's spineless. It's a miracle he can keep his neck up. But Pharrell knows better. This is a direct hit at me. He does this stuff all the time. It's very petty. Very, very, very. And the reality is that it's frustrating. I have the right to be frustrated. Why? Because no one had the human decency to call and be like, yo, hey, would like to use your record. Which, by the way, the reason I'm annoyed is because I know it was on purpose. This is not like some, oh, they were in the studio and it's, no, this was an on purpose direct hit, which is very passive aggressive. It's very petty. It's very stupid. And I'm going to say what I have to say. I don't mince my words. So all of you Beyonce fans, knock yourselves out. I'm not mad like that. It's not about me being jealous of someone using my song. That's the dumbest, most ignorant thing I've ever heard. Like, grow up. I was not thinking about her or no one else. Not even on No Shade. Just not thinking about living my greatest, best life, as I always do. So it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that from one artist to another, you should have the decency and the common sense and the courtesy to call, reach out, a manager, an agent, anybody just be like, yo, heads up, this is what we're thinking, this is what we're doing. Even if you're going to do it anyway. Just common decency. Like I said, it's happened before where people at least had the wherewithal to be like, yo, using your record, we understand that like Pharrell totally swindled you out of your stuff. Just want to give the respect because that's what you do, right? No, that's not what happened. So grow up, okay? I don't mince my words. I say exactly how I feel, when I feel it, how I feel it. I don't care who likes it or doesn't like it. It is what it is. These are facts. This is not opinion, okay? These are facts. Later. So just to add to my thought, here's the issue, okay? This is really not about Beyonce or anything else for that. The reality is, okay, and I said what I said, so still all facts, okay? But the reality is that this is more about the fact that like there's a lot of hypocrisy and there's a lot of nonsense. So we've got Pharrell who did an interview, I think last year, talking about artists' rights and how people should be able to rework their deals and artists should be getting credit for what they've done and all this stuff. Where in reality, when I was signed to him, I had the same manager that he had, and he has writing credits on my records, okay, all my singles, coincidentally, and he never wrote a song, a lyric a day in his life, okay? And so, yeah, that's a problem. Number two, we've got Beyonce, who, like I said, out of human decency and artistry and female, just all of the stuff she sings about, all this empowerment and stuff, I don't talk about it, I am about it, okay? So the reality is, all of this female empowerment stuff, it doesn't only counts if you really do it. If you're really living it and walking the walk. Don't just talk the talk. It's real cute and fun to sing all these girls' songs. Like, come on now. Let's be real, all right? And then thirdly, you want to talk about Pharrell time? Oh, because I'm happy. I'd be happy too if I was stealing all kinds of folks' publishing and rights to songs and all kinds of stuff. I actually really wouldn't be happy because it's evil. But the point is, okay, is that there's a lot of hypocrisy and someone has to talk about it and bring it up. And it just so happens that I was thrown in this. This is not like I looked for it. I was actually last night, I was posting on my Bounty and Full page, just doing my own thing. And then I saw one of my fan pages and someone was like, oh, this is a collaboration between B and Kelis. No, it's not a collaboration. It's called thievery because the collaboration, the definition of collaboration, it means that we are working together. There's no working together if you are not even checking to see if everything's cool. That's a problem, okay? I would never do that to another artist. For real. I never have, I never would. Why? Because what's the point? If I like it so much, why wouldn't I just be like, yo, I really like it. Can I use it? Whatever. That doesn't happen, right? It's nonsense. Because some people, I don't know what they think. I don't even care. The point is, something has to be done about it. I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm not going to pop off all the time. I'm saying what I have to say because it's true, okay? But I do think that something needs to be done. It happens to a lot of artists. It happens all the time. And I think that really something needs to change. And this just might be the fuel that I needed to actually do it. Because honestly, I try to keep to myself and stay out of the drama. But if it keeps coming to me, what else am I going to do, right? That's all. So say what you want to say. I don't really care. Peace.
Now, Beyonce is got a song called Energy, where she took a song that Kelis did in 2000 called Get Along With You, and she sampled that. And he's like, well, this will be a tribute to Kelis, which it really isn't. It's nothing but thievery. And the fact is, this isn't the first time Kelis and Beyonce has had, this situation happen. because I'm about to not really blow the lid off this, but the Beehive could do with it what they want. Beyonce is artificial. She is not a writer. She's not a producer. She is an artist. Translation, meaning that we got a light going out. I don't like that. But she's a talent. Beyonce could sing. She can dance. She's an entertainer. But she's not an artist. Okay? Let's put it that way. She's an entertainer, but she's not an artist. Beyonce cannot write songs. These are lies. All her getting these writing credits. She's got other people in there. She's not creative. She's like Jay-Z. Neither one of them are creative. Everything Beyonce done has been stolen, or she's gotten it from someone else. They are artificial plants. They play a role. They're trying to be the Michelle and Barack Obama of hip hop. It's sick. It's fake. And it's something that no one should ever be attaching themselves to. Nobody at all. To me, it's pathetic, to say the least. It's real pathetic. I've never looked at Beyonce or anybody that was attached to Beyonce a certain way. Never did it. I've always told the truth, always spoke the truth. Like they say, so help me God, so help me God. I've always spoke the truth. Because it always benefits me in the long run. Now, Beyonce has been doing this and getting away with this for a very long time, and it's been unchecked because she's got like all of you sheep. Like Kelis said, you guys are all sheep. You all have fallen for this Beyonce's the greatest singer in the world, or all these other BS tactics that they pull. They pull a lot of wool over your eyes, right? And when they pull all this wool over your eyes, they're able to fool you. All this, she's in formation and all she's doing is singing songs. Beyonce ain't did a damn thing to help no one in no situation. She ain't doing anything for no women's and all this bull. She's just false propaganda that they have cooked up and put together. That's all. And this is how Hollywood works. Because they will never say anything to Beyonce about any of this. They will never put a camera in her face and make her have to respond. All they're going to do is use their PR power. They're going to take a picture of Kelis when she's looking like Who Shot John, and they're going to put a picture of Beyonce looking glamorous. Now, look at that picture of Kelis. How many times have I seen this picture everywhere? With Kelis with this same look. Kelis has about 1 million photos, but every photo is this one. And they got Beyonce looking glamorous, and they got her looking like that. So that she looks like some rundown thing of the mill, right? And Beyonce looks like the beauty queen pageant. As they tell their story, this is how the media fights, and they use their media power, right? And he's like, why is she hating Beyonce? Because Beyonce's beautiful and she's broke. This is why she's hating. They're already trying to paint the narrative without even listening to what she's actually had to say, and the fact that she was right. Beyonce, who has stolen many concepts and ideas from many artists in the industry and blackballed them out of the business. Do we have to say Carrie Hilson? Do you know Ring the Alarm was taken from Kelis? Ring the Alarm by Beyonce is nothing but I Hate You So Much Right Now by Kelis. She used her for a creative muse, and she goes and steals it. She's been stealing from Kelis's debut album for the past 12 years. Kelis is aware of it. And so are the other artists. But they know they don't have the power to fight them in the industry because they have everybody under the trans. So this is where we are right now. Remember when Beyonce copied the same look from the same artist? Nicki Minaj had did it earlier when she did the Vava Room video. She did the same artwork and Beyonce copied the same layout, like, oh, we had the same idea later on down the road. No, Beyonce was copying it from when Nicki did it. She's just doing it on a bigger scale. There's a thing between inspiration and imitation. There's a difference. And Beyonce is an imitator. She's not inspired to, she's inspired to steal. And that's the problem. And people are letting it go by, and she's been doing it her entire career. And who can forget Rich Man's Frog? All of the moves that Beyonce stole. And you seen this in Beyonce's videos. She stole the whole routine. So if you want to talk about imitation and artistry, and you know, it's one thing to be influenced by work and actually stealing from all these people who did these things and not give these people the credit for coming up with the moves. You know, it's just imitation and flattery. Right? Inspiration or imitation? Which one are we talking about? It goes on. The Get Me Bodied video, the Mexican breakfast she stole from everything from Bob Fosse's routine she then took. She has stolen concert performances from artists. She's one of the greatest thefts of this new millennium. And Jennifer Lopez ended up stealing from her. Oh, she's got hit with a lot of. Beyonce was hit with a ton of copyright lawsuit infringements. That her career has solely been based on copyright theft, which is federal and international crimes. They've settled a lot of this stuff behind closed doors that you never saw it in the major medias or anything. She stole performances. She stole European pop artists. The appearance for the Billboard Awards. She has done everything. Let me show you a prime example. Look at this. She stole this performance from this shot here. She stole this shot from the original shot here that was done, right? The artist's work, she went there and did that. That's the original artist who did the work. Beyonce has been doing this for years. No creativity whatsoever. She stole Sam Cooke's song, Wonderful World, right? Sam Cooke, Wonderful World. Let's listen to the lyrics, okay? And let's go from there. Sam Cooke, but I don't know 1 and 1 is 2. Well, he said, I do know, but I do know 1 and 1 is 2. Beyonce say, but I know 1 plus 1 equals 2. Sam Cooke says, don't know much about algebra. Beyonce, I don't know much about algebra. Sam Cooke, don't know much about French I took. Beyonce, I don't know much about fighting. What a wonderful world this could be. Beyonce, when the world's at war. It's all the same cadence, just changing the words around. So Beyonce 1 plus 1 is a ripoff of certain parts of En Vogue's Don't Go, mixed with Wonderful World. So she has En Vogue Don't Go, right? Beyonce, Don't Let Me Go. En Vogue, Let's Make Sweet Love. Beyonce, Make Love to Me. En Vogue, I won't put up any fight. Beyonce, I will fight for you. Be En Vogue, Lay Me Down. Beyonce's next line, I'm laying right next to you. En Vogue, Our love been growing freely. Beyonce, Our love will heal us all. En Vogue, It's out of my hands. Beyonce, When I ball up my fist. Body next to mine, that's En Vogue's next line. Beyonce, laying next to you. It's the same damn thing. She has ripped off Vanessa Williams. She has ripped off everything from all of these artists who has done it before. Vanessa Williams in 91. Beyonce, 2008. She just takes and takes and takes. Imitation is not always flattery when you're not giving credit to the people you're stealing it from. Vanessa Williams cover. Beyonce. Do you have any originality, Beyonce? Or are you just going to copy everything someone else do? This is your MO. Copy, copy, copy. Who watched Beyonce video Halo? It's nothing but Darling I. It's the same video. Beyonce just modernized it. In other words, stole it. But this whole look of the 1920s and everything, wearing the black coat and Darling I, the makeup, the hairstyle, Beyonce rips it off 20 years later. Look at Beyonce trying to wear this, the New York Observer style. Look at Vanessa Williams and how she had her hair up in the dress and everything. You have been trying to be Vanessa Williams forever. But you are an imitation. Look at this outfit. That looks familiar, don't it? That's George Michael's. Too funky. And who got that outfit on? Same outfit. Yours truly, the thieving champion, Beyonce. Here's something you don't see every day. Beyonce Knowles settles copyright infringement case. See, they don't tell you about that. Filed right here in Chicago. That's how I know about it. Cater to You song. This is how I know about the whole violation, because it happened here in Chicago. See, I knew all about this case. See, her former band, Destiny's Child, was in violation of the U.S. and international copyright law. She is routinely mocked and written by people online by this conduct, but her beehive protects her from all this nonsense by saying everyone does this. Well, see, the thing was, she was sued. And when you're sued, the they had to settle it with Ricky Allen. He copyrighted that song. See, no one cares about it, and they try to say, well, let's try to get the judge to go along with what happened. So in Chicago back in 2009, this was a huge thing here, so we knew about it. But they even tried, the Hollywood media, to put it on page 37. Now, bribing the judge or a settlement for a songwriter, Ricky Allen, for stealing Cater to You, right? Allen had copied it and registered for the copyright for Cater to You with the Copyright Office of the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. in 2000. Now, in 2004, a former co-worker of Allen's gained employment for working with Beyonce when he was with Destiny's Child, when she was with the group Destiny's Child, right? The same year, Destiny's Child released Cater to You, allegedly written by Beyonce Knowles, right? But bearing that this is a music ripoff of lyrics and exact same title of the song that pre-existed copyrighted song by Allen, which was registered 4 years before Beyonce actually took it and stole it. Beyonce has been sued, and many people who don't believe it, because they can't believe anything could stick to Beyonce, they were selling these lawsuits behind closed doors because she has been doing this for years and building her name up, but the PR is not bad on her because it never gets out. They control the media. They control what everyone's gonna say or think. So if you control that narrative, they can't say nothing to you and respond. So once again, they win. So Kelis is 100% correct this time. On this subject, she's 100% correct. Is Kelis crazy? Yeah, she's crazy. But she's also correct about this. I know a lot of people gonna say, oh, Nas and Jay-Z beef, now Beyonce and Kelis is beef. Her and Kelis don't get along. They tried it. It didn't work. And she spoke out before about, when Ring the Alarm came out. That's nothing but that. And she's been sampling her music since. But this is what people don't realize because they don't pay attention. Beyonce is an entertainer, not an artist, and that's the problem. People think she's one of the greatest singers of all time, greatest entertainers. She's very good at entertaining, putting on a show and do this, but nothing creative about that woman at all. No creativity whatsoever. Just like a husband. No creativity. So hopefully you guys have hit the like button, subscribe to the page, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything that come up next, and I'm out. The Patreon is up. We did go into DJ Vlad. If you wanted to know about the trafficking, it's there. And we'll get more details because on the 1st, we dropping another anvil. So here we come.